really reassuring. That's really good to see. Thank you, panel members. Right, we move on to question 2, and this comes from Carter, who's a Year 9 pupil at Monk Seton High School. Oh, sorry, I've jumped to question. Question 2 is the one about the obesity crisis, so forgive me. It's Rosie, Year 11, George Stephenson High School. We'll come to you, Carter, in a moment. So Rosie, Year 11 pupil, George Stephenson High School. Let's have your question. Thank you, Rosie.
If the UK has no obesity crisis, why do North Tyneside not offer exercise classes to under 17s?
Good question. So if the UK has an obesity crisis, which we've been told we do indeed have, particularly in young people, why do North Tyneside Council not offer exercise classes to the under 17s? Heidi Douglas, you're the public health consultant here at the council, so should there be exercise classes for the under 17s?
Okay, thank you, Rosie, for asking this really important question. And you're completely right. In North Tyneside, like the rest of the UK, and also globally as well, we are facing an obesity crisis amongst young people and adults. And I suppose what's important in North Tyneside is, although the numbers of children and young people and adults who are either obese or overweight aren't rising, we've still got too many people in the population who are overweight or obese. And what we know is that if you're a child or a young person and you enter adulthood being either overweight or obese, the chances are that you're going to remain overweight and obese, and then that impacts on certain diseases like diabetes, heart conditions, joint pains, etc. So addressing obesity is a really important issue. And I know the question's about exercise, but there's a really well-known saying that you can't outrun a bad diet. And basically, as a society, we're just eating too much high sugar, high fat and high salt food. So if we're really serious and we want to do something around obesity, we need to start to change the food environment. And in North Tyneside, we want to make the healthy choice the easy choice. And so some examples of how we're doing that is we have award-winning healthy school lunches, and currently you can't open a takeaway outside a school. So we're really trying hard to kind of get young people to eat healthily and make that easy choice. But the question that you raise is about exercise, so I'm going to address that. So whilst I've talked about food, exercise has an important role to play in helping you maintain a healthy weight. And so exercise, can help, but exercise alone can't tackle the obesity crisis. But what we do know about being active is being active, physically active, helps young people and adults to stay healthy. And also it's a really good way of having fun. And exercise doesn't have to be a chore. So it's recommended that we do about 150 minutes of physical activity a week. And this can be achieved by going to any of the activities that are on offer in North Tyneside. So I don't know, quick hands up, has anyone seen one of these cards, which is Active North Tyneside card? No? Well, we've got loads of cards there, so go and get one. And basically, Active North Tyneside offers a whole range of different activities for young people, from free swims to trampolining, climbing, lots of different forms of exercise, and you can just go on that website and you can find out more. However, there are other ways we can achieve being physically active. So walking, cycling to school, relying less on cars and more on our bodies to transport us. And sometimes actually cycling's quicker than driving. And it's a really good way to kind of stay active. Basically, the human body is a machine and it was made for moving. And if we don't keep it moving, it will eventually stop working. So I'm just going to end with the words of Edward Stanley, who, for all those history buffs out there, was an MP in the 1800s. So we've known this for an awful long time, way before the obesity crisis. So Edward Stanley said, "Those who have no time for exercise will sooner or later have to find time for illness." So let's try our hardest and find those 150 minutes per week to get active.
Thank you very much, Heidi. Right, I'll throw this over to Robin Fry.
Thank you. So I guess similar to Heidi, I would question whether exercise classes for under 17s is necessarily the answer to obesity. So I've got 2 young kids, and I'm aware of the difficulties in encouraging them to move away from the foods that taste really nice and to start to move towards the foods that are a little bit more healthy. My daughter's just started at Valley Gardens, and delighted when she came back yesterday full of talk about the dangers of junk food. I've been vegan for 20 years, and when she's not delighting in to try and shove a sausage in my face, we're quite often chatting about foods, where do they come from, which ones are good for you. So, I mean, the schools are doing a good job in not just providing healthy food, but educating as well. So exercise clearly is really important, and also, like Heidi said, I mean, it should be fun. The nature of the work that I do at Voda is around encouraging people to get more involved in their local communities, and to build on what Heidi was saying about Active North Tyneside. For those of you who are aged 14 and upwards, there's a really interesting opportunity for you to become community health ambassadors. So Active North Tyneside are looking for young volunteers who can inspire other people to adopt more healthy lifestyles. So think about what you can do, not just for yourself, but for other people. So the Community Health Champions, you get a £25 voucher, goodie bag, and it's a really interesting volunteer opportunity. So in terms of keeping fit, getting out and about, there's loads of stuff that you could be doing that's good for you, but good for other people. And there's a really interesting thing going on in Newcastle at the moment called Good Gym, which is where existing running groups are going out running, but halfway through their run, they're stopping off on older, more isolated residents, checking in on them, and it's about building these things in, so it's keeping fit, but it's about getting more involved in the local community. So I would definitely say, if this is something you're interested in, think about kind of fun ways of keeping fit, walk your neighbour's dog, do a bit of sports coaching for your local club, find out what's already going on in your community, and get more involved, because not only is that kind of thing good for your physical health, but it can be really good for your mental health as well.
Thank you, Robin. And finally, Councillor Early.
Thanks for the question, Rosie. I do agree there is an obesity crisis in the UK, and there's also an obesity problem in North Tyneside. I think a recent study showed 2/3 of adults in the borough and 1/3 of children between the ages of 10 and 11 are either obese or overweight, and that figure unfortunately is higher in parts of North Tyneside where poverty and deprivation are highest. So combating childhood obesity is a priority for us as a council, and I think we have to do this through a range of measures, as both Heidi and Robin have already alluded to. On the specific point about North Tyneside offering exercise classes to the under-17s, the council does offer free extra cards to the 0 to 16-year-old children, and that gets you into all our leisure facilities and support centres, and you get discounted rates. For young people aged 14 to 17 concerned about their weight, we offer a free gym programme, and that's a 10-week gym or exercise programme. But again, as Robin and Heidi have said, I think one of the important things is to get people, young people interested in sport and exercise. So I think they have to have an opportunity to choose from a range of sports and types of exercise. What we want is young people to engage with that and to carry on doing that into adult life, because as I say, obesity isn't just a problem amongst young people, it's also a growing problem amongst adults. There are other sport courses on offer, not just what the council provides. There are lots of sports clubs run by charities and other organisations that Robin's mentioned, and we also have a programme called the No Limits Activity Club for children aged 8 to 13, so that allows you to go along and try a range of sports and see what you like and see what you might become passionate about and want to carry on doing. But then again, I also agree with Robin and Heidi that exercise is only part of the answer to the problem. There is an issue around diet, and I think we need to help our young people to know a lot more about how to maintain a healthy diet. There was a recent study in North Tyneside amongst young people, and 65% of the people who were asked said that they wanted more information about how to have a healthy diet. But we are working with schools. The council runs a Healthy Schools Award scheme to promote physical fitness and a healthy lifestyle to young people. And we also, again, as I mentioned, have the Active North Tyneside campaign website. So I think we are doing quite a lot, but there's a lot more to be done.
Thank you, Councillor. Rosie, did that answer your question, do you think?
Yeah, thank you for answering.
It was flagged up by Robin in particular that all of us should be taking exercise, doing sports, etc. How many people here outside school PE, how many people are members of a sports club or play football or do an exercise class? That's pretty impressive. Good stuff. Well done.